Welcome into Chalk Talk Social. It is Friday, September 26th, and Iman, I got some exciting news for everybody. We are very excited to share a Juega House discount, an ambassador code with all of y'all, 15%. Look, y'all don't mind my hair now. This is worth it. Don't mind it, but these guys got some really nice hats. I'm telling you, I've been wearing them on my hair is going to ruin my reputation right now. I've been wearing them on plenty of episodes, and this is not just like, hey, I didn't do it just because we got it. I've had these things going. I've worked out on this one about 250,000 times. I'm telling you, these hats are awesome. Your favorite pro football players are wearing them. And look, at the end of the day, oh yeah, it's just an ambassadorship. But look, we love the hats. Our audience, we know you're going to love the hats. I've seen a lot of our demographic wearing these, our target demo, our sports lovers, our diehards. Got my guy Aaron Rodgers who reps it on the field. Whatever you feel about Rodgers, I'm telling you, former Packer Jake Ryan, hey, I'm here to support it. I love it. So Juega House, get your 15% discount code with code Sidelinr Sports, SIDELINR space sports. Go ahead and get yourself one. Support the biz. But Iman, how are you doing?
Oh man, it's been a great week already. Ooh, Freaky Friday. So I'm feeling good. We're going into the weekend. Few games I got lined up. I've already made a couple dollars on FanDuel. So when I'm making money, I'm feeling good.
I love to hear. Hey, maybe we talk about some games and maybe we listen to me this time on some college football. I don't know. You're right. I gotta take you on this one this week because listen, that was the one game I fucking lost on my parlay and it killed my whole parlay. So I'm taking your advice this week. Hey, look, I'm looking out for you. I'm here for you. I'm gonna support you in your endeavors. I'm gonna wear my Juega House hat right now. Get that thing on this is my new one. I love it, the Athletic Association. But all right, from the week, we got some stories to get into. Nothing crazy, but actually one thing is pretty crazy. We got to talk about the Detroit Tigers' legendary collapse, and perhaps at the same time, the Cleveland Guardians' legendary ascent into first place. Iman, I know you're wearing your Nationals hat. Have you seen this though?
Yeah, I've actually seen it, but in Detroit, man, I don't know what they got going on. Maybe all of the toughness is over there with the Lions, and maybe they need to go get the head coach because that's bad.
That's what people are saying too. Like, it is Lions season. Even though, we got to remember this was just one of the top 2-3 teams in baseball. Like the entire season, they held a 15.5 game lead in early July. That includes a 10.5 game lead on September 1st. And as of today, they are no longer first place in the AL Central behind the Cleveland Guardians. So the Guardians have won 17 of 19. Meanwhile, the Tigers, since 1969, this is so far the biggest deficit overcome to win the division. The Yankees in 78 did it with 14 games behind the Red Sox. So this is like a new insane September 1st, 10.5 up. It's the 25th. It's the 26th now.
And you better believe some pink slips going to get handed out. Not just managers and upper management, but some players got to go. Because I say it all the time. Players play, coaches coach. But at the end of the day, it's got to be some pink slips handed out. And goodness grief, I feel bad for the people who had them actually winning their division and put money on it. I know they're sick right now. Shit.
Everyone's blaming Pizza Boy, the owner, who's I think a co-owner, and is it Little Caesars? I could be wrong. I think it's Little Caesars, and so everyone's annoyed. I was looking at some tweets from the fans. They were just pissed at the trade deadline moves or lack thereof. A couple things that I saw is one of the quotes from a Detroit Tigers fan. They said, and cheap ass, in all caps, mind you, so make sure we get that emphasis, and cheap ass bitch boy Chris Ilitch, we need this man deported from the D ASAP.
Oh, that's funny.
So that's the guy that, and then my next favorite one was, what a limp dick baseball team. We got some other ones that are pretty good here. I can't believe I'm about to watch this bum ass team again tonight. I'm such a loser. So these Detroit Tigers fans are feeling it right now over this baseball team.
Hurt. And if it wasn't for the Lions, they'll probably fucking riot that stadium. And understand it's probably happening because if he's a co-owner of the Little Caesars, then it's going to happen. That pizza is fucking terrible. I don't know if you eat it, but it's cheap. But clearly we know why it's cheap. It's fucking terrible.
Hey, in college, look at me. Look at in college, hand up. That was good. We were on a limited budget.
Chanelos is cheap too.
Yeah,
Austin.
I've never heard of that. See, we didn't have many options in little small town Stevens Point, Wisconsin, bumfuck middle of nowhere, Wisconsin. Now tell me, but we did have some options. It was just little seasons when we were like kind of tight on cash, but we were like also we can't afford food. Maybe we just go get a $5 pizza. I don't know.
I can't do it.
No.
Not to you know.
That's I got standards now. All right, let's be clear. I have standards now. Sometimes. Be very clear on that.
What's your choice of pizza?
Man, I'm going whoever's got the most volume of crispy pepperonis, that is where I need to find myself. That's where I prefer to find myself. Now, if we're talking like chains and stuff, look, I do teeter between Domino's and Pizza Hut, but like I'm not happy about either. But like I'm gonna start admitting some embarrassing things. Like I'm a boneless chicken wing guy at times, and I know that's controversial. I'm also a wing guy, or not a wing guy. I'm a drumstick guy. There's just more volume of meat on the bone.
Your fucking stomach is going and it's going wild. You eat boneless, eat Domino's and Little Caesars.
Yo, brother. so Domino's has got that like little boneless chicken wing thing where they put a bunch of shit on top of it, and I love getting that as a side. So I tend to find myself leaning Domino's because of that more. So I swear, I got problems. I know you can.
You couldn't give that shit to me. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I eat Pizza Hut and Papa John's only if that's it. But around here, we have like New York style pizza. People actually from New York, like A-Raps from New York. So that's the only thing I can eat. But I'm not Domino's. They could give it away, and I would give it to the homeless. I'm not eating that shit. And boneless wings, we gotta talk about that later. But
okay, hey, look. Like I said, I'm a big drummy guy too, though. I love a good drummy. It's just I'm kind of particular. I don't want to just get a drumstick from anywhere. And sometimes boneless is just easier, a little bit more reliable. Hey, run the ball sometimes, and if I'm not feeling in the mood to eat around a bone, I want something a little simpler. I don't know. Okay. We can move on. Now I'm just embarrassed. Yeah, now we're just embarrassing myself. All right. So the Tigers suck, though. We all agree on the Tigers. I don't think they're winning back to our initial conversation. I don't think the Tigers are World Series contenders. I think they're clearly showing to be frauds, and you could say they're slumping at the right time. But this team, I mean, I don't think anyone's happy about where they're at. I don't think anyone has any belief in where they're at. They still have good pitching. Skubal and was it Casey Mize? Casey Mize. They're a really good young pitcher. I believe it's Mize. Looking really good out there. Got lots of wins. I think 13 wins. So they got guys at pitcher. But as a team, it's falling apart. The wheels are falling off, and I just don't think slumping now is a good time or not. I don't think you're putting all the wheels back on for it to matter.
Hell no. Some people want to go to Cancun. They're ready for their vacation. Ready for all season.
Javi Baez tricked you. He tricked you.
Cancun on 3.
All right, next up, though, let's go to your division, the NFC East. Jaxon Dart gets the start in Dr. Seuss. Jaxon Dart gets a start in New York for the Giants. I think the first thing that comes to my head is like it seems fun. Maybe they're going to try to trade Russell Wilson. I don't know who would want him. I think, hey, I just think it's time to step out. Just step out, Russell. Like, just it's time, I think. But is this the final straw for Brian Daboll, do we think? A lot of Giants fans aren't happy with him already. If Jaxon's Dart, let's say that doesn't go well, the offense doesn't improve, and he doesn't start, going crazy this season, do you think Brian Daboll is out next season?
Oh, for sure. If Jaxon Dart doesn't have a good season, if they don't win 9 games, he's done. But I do say this. I'm glad he's going with it now because I think Jaxon Dart is the best quarterback from this draft. And I know preseason, you got to have kind of like a caveat because preseason you don't see the right defenses. But I've seen what he possesses. They have the weapons. Let's be clear. Now, the running back just got hurt, so that's going to be a big hit. But they have the weapons on that.
Oh, Tracy?
Yeah, he like shoulder or something was out of socket or something last game. He never returned, so I haven't looked at the injury report and see if he's returning this week. But they have the athletes on the outside. They have one of the top 5 best receivers in the league.
Neighbors is a guy.
Their line is not good, but Thomas is finally coming back. So they got their left tackle. He's going to get in a good groove. And what do you need when you don't have a good line? Somebody that's going to run and keep their head down the field. I don't know if y'all looked at Russell Wilson this weekend. I'm talking about if people were 2 feet away from him, he was dropping his head and trying to figure out how to get out. Like he wasn't even looking downfield. So I think Jaxon Dart is actually going to allow them to win some games because they have the firepower.
They do. Wando Robinson, as long as he stays healthy. I mean, I know they like Theo Johnson at tight end. Cam Scadaboo's obviously a weapon, and he can catch the ball too. I mean, he's a dog. He's got that like 90s run style. I love watching Cam Scadaboo play some football. So I'm going to be cheering for Scat. And then who's the other day? They still have Slayton, right? He's not like a high ceiling guy, but he's just pretty reliable for them, and he's good for three. He's good for 3-4 catches a game, maybe the occasional big one. So not a bad option down there. And yeah, it's going to come down like, can the O-line do good? Andrew Thomas, that's a huge thing. And yeah, man, I think Brian Daboll, if this doesn't go well and the offense still looks messy, I think he's out. I think he's already, sounds from like a lot of Giants fans, sounds like he's already pretty much on the hot seat. So this has got to be the final straw.
For sure. But if you're a betting man, I would take Giants with the points this week. I'm telling you, Jaxon Dart is going to energize that team. They all have been asking for him. Okay. The whole team has been asking for him because, once again, we understand that Russell Wilson is not a locker room guy. So everybody's been asking for it. So if you're a betting man, I'm telling everybody now, Giants points, take it. It's a lock this week. Jaxon Dart is going to energize that offense, and they already have an A1 defense, believe it or not. I'm telling you.
So, yeah, a lot of expectations on that defensive front. Lots of dogs on that defensive front, so a lot of high expectations. But why don't we stick to quarterbacks, right? Let's bring on a fan, and at the same point, let's bring on our first Sidelinr writer. At the same point, we got Devin, and for the fan, we are going to bring on Ben. So Ben, Devin, how we doing, gentlemen? Good to see you.
Doing good. How are y'all doing?
We're doing good.
Very good. Good stuff. How we let's just kick it off. Like, let's get into something real quick. I mean, y'all got to be feeling pretty good about your Chargers, right?
I was caught off guard. We were getting brought on right after being told to bet against us covering the spread. Right after. Right
it's
after.
Perfect timing. High scoring game.
I don't know if that favors the Giants too well because, I mean, you look at the Chargers offense, obviously they got a lot of firepower going on right now, but like the Giants' best path to victory, or at least keeping it close Sunday this week, is probably their pass rush getting home against that Chargers O-line, which is a little banged up right now.
Yeah, hey, that Chargers defense, there's been potential there for a minute, especially with Derwin James, but that defense is looking as good as it ever has with Derwin James, it feels like. And I mean, it's not the easiest. What I'm saying is not the easiest first game for Jaxon Dart. I think he will elevate the offense. And Iman's point about Russell Wilson's like eyes going straight to the ground way too early, just getting rid of that type of quarterbacking should be a huge upgrade to the offense, but it's going to be a challenge. That defense is playing pretty hot right now.
I think it's funny because there's a non-zero chance that Jaxon Dart is playing against his future head coach this week with Jesse Minter scheming up for Jaxon Dart this week. Obviously, Jesse Minter has had his guys ready to go all year, and Jaxon Dart is someone that I'd imagine they've watched actually extensively because of their Trey Harris acquisition in the offseason. Naturally, I think you watch that Ole Miss offense, you see Trey Harris, you see Jaxon Dart. And I think it'll be fun to see what Jesse Minter has planned because it's very weird as a Chargers fan to see your team being the guys that do you really want to start a rookie quarterback against those guys when you have this team on the horizon? It's funny to see, like, I don't know, we're not used to that, to say the least.
Devin Jasso, Sidelinr Sports Chargers writer right there. That was good stuff. Ben, how are you feeling about the team? Ben, we got the Chargers fan on here. And what we're going to actually do with Ben too is you can first tell us how you feel about the Chargers, but then we're going to let you rip into a minute monologue is what we called in the past. And you're going to go, you got 60 seconds. I'm starting to watch and I'm going to throw a flag if you dare go over.
Okay, sounds good.
You get 60 seconds to rip it on whatever you need to. Chargers, I think you're going to go Justin Herbert, and then the rest of us will come in. We'll add our feedback, our color commentary on what you got. So, one, how we feeling about those Chargers?
Yeah, I mean, they've been real fun to watch this year. This game coming up, I mean, they're 3-0, but this is legitimately a trap game. I mean, like Devin was saying, that front seven is insane for the Giants. You got a patchwork line for the Chargers, even though like guys are playing great. Like with all those injuries, that is scary. And their offense, they got a rookie QB coming in. You guys talked about Scadaboo and Neighbors. Like they got young, hungry guys. Like This is not going to be an easy win. I mean, that could be an upset. I mean, I trust the Chargers they're well coached right now, so I trust them to ride their stars and get to that win. But I don't think it's definitely not this easy win that a lot of people are probably expecting when they're betting on this game. So it should be a lot of fun, honestly.
I think the Chargers are gonna try to get after Dart's ass.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna try to get after him. We make a young guy uncomfortable. So maybe I should pick up the Chargers tight end in fantasy or something. A lot of dump offs or something like that. I do have Amari in Hampton, and I'm very excited about. No, I'm not excited about Najee Harris injury, but very excited about Amari in Hampton's opportunity as a fantasy owner. So very excited. All right, Ben, 60 seconds starting. When I say so, about Justin Herbert. Is that what you're doing? Justin Herbert rant right
I
now?
want to talk a little bit about Justin Herbert, yeah.
Justin Herbert, minute monologue from Ben S., Chargers fan, ready, set, go.
We've got some false narratives going on about Justin Herbert that I need to clear up. First things first, he's called not a winner. He's called not ready for the moment. We're always talking about his playoff chokes. He's got 2 losses in the playoffs. The first one was not him. It wasn't his best game, but it also wasn't a bad game. I went back and watched the game recently. They had no run game. They talk about the 27-point blown lead. You got to be able to run the ball to milk the clock. The defense didn't step up and get stops. He's throwing in the second half. They're not milking clock. He really didn't play that bad. Not much separation. Second game, we'll give it to you, 4 interceptions, but I'm just so tired of people not looking at context, why those interceptions happened. 2 of those were tipped. One of them was a garbage time throw you have to make when you're down a lot to try to get back into it. The first one was terrible. I won't defend that. I just think we go out of context and we say he's not a winner. He's finally got winning coaches. He's finally got players that can keep up with him a bit. He's looking better. You got people saying, hey, he's stepping up. He's finally an MVP candidate. He's been this guy all along.
Finish it up. Oh, there we go. Hey, good timing.
He's been this guy all along.
That was good timing. Good timing. You were just at the 60-second mark. All right. That was a good one. Hey, I appreciate the thought going into that. All right, Devin, as the senior Sidelinr Chargers correspondent, what do we got here?
Regarding any Justin Herbert discourse, it's always going to be very narrative-based, pushing narratives and so on and so forth, because he's reached a point where his name is so polarizing, where you're either on one side of the fence or you're on the total opposite side of the fence. So, I mean, we saw it before the season with Ryan Clark talking when the lights are at their brightest. He's a loser. He can't perform at that upper echelon. And I think that the narrative about him is only going to get more extreme as the season goes on, because now the expectations have shifted. 3 weeks ago, there was talks about him being a someone who doesn't perform at the brightest lights and so on and all of these things. And now 3 weeks later, we're talking about him like an MVP frontrunner. And so it's just funny how the narrative can shift so fast, especially in the NFL. What is interesting to me about any Herbert discourse is that he's not doing anything right now that he hasn't done for the last 4 years at this point. Yep. Whether it's the impressive throw against Denver this week, whether it's protecting the football, his pocket management, elevating the people around him, all of these things, he's done it all throughout the year, or throughout his entire career. The only difference is now he's winning games because his defense isn't allowing north of 24 a game. I think it's interesting how much winning does change everything, because he, like I said, he's not doing anything different. This is who Justin Herbert has been now for the last 3+ years. And it is interesting. You mentioned the winning coaches and the culture that they've built around. I've accredited Jesse Minter so much in the past couple of years or the past year and a half for what he's done, because this defense is now a top 5 unit consistently. As long as they can start rattling off turnovers, they're going to be a top 5 consensus unit. And if Justin Herbert has a top 5 defense, he's going to win 11, 12, 13 games every year, just like he probably would have the last 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, Brandon Staley criminally did that defense criminally wrong. I'm sure that's just like that name just boils y'all's blood.
Brandon Staley made people think Derwin James was over the hill, which that's impressive. That's impressive.
Yeah. Hey, man, it's like the Joe Barry running Green Bay. He wasted some seriously talented defenses with just dog water play calling and coordination. But you're right. And I think some of the narratives around Herbert in the past there's been some to it. But I think the biggest thing here is that, look, you're right. It's not like he's coming out. He looks like a new guy this season. This is a new Justin Herbert. You're right. I mean, he is the same Justin Herbert. He hasn't been in the best offensive situations in the past. And shoot, I mean, from an offensive line perspective, he's not in the best situation this year. He's the third most sacked, or I think he's the third most sacked quarterback per game. He's been sacked 10 times. Only 4 guys have been sacked more than him this season. He's got the most first down throws in the NFL, and he doesn't have the most attempts. He's got a lot of attempts. He's averaging freaking 8 yards an attempt. He's got the most pass yards in the NFL. Like, he's got 6 touchdowns, doesn't lead there, but only 1 pick. He's having a really nice season. And the weapons, I think, are, Keenan Allen balling out in an old age. That's helping a lot. Lab McConkey, he can just get open. Stats haven't been there. And Trey Harris, I really like that cat out there. I think he's got a lot. And then Quentin Johnson finally is catching footballs.
That's the one thing that I kind of think Justin Herbert is overrated. I'm going to say that off top. And I'm a rebuttal y'all saying MVP, relax. Because if y'all want a top 5 defense, the past few MVPs, the Bills haven't had it with Josh Allen. The Ravens haven't had it with Lamar Jackson. So if he's going to be MVP, y'all can't say he needs a top 5 defense to be that. He's going to have to do that. But I do respect him by believing in Quentin Johnston. I would have never threw that guy the ball this year. Never. His first 2 years were fucking awful. So I just respect Herbert by believing in him and feeding him. And now his confidence is up. And he's really playing like the guy y'all thought he was going to be when you drafted him a couple years ago. So
it started like
on that. Yeah, but that MVP, y'all got to kind of relax because the MVP carries the team. Don't need a defense. Don't need special team. MVPs carry the team.
But
that's all I'm saying.
But if you go into the Super Bowl with not like a top defense, you're probably not winning the Super Bowl.
I mean, the last couple MVPs usually fizzle out in the postseason due to that fact. They don't got something.
Y'all said MVP. Y'all said MVP.
I said the narrative around him right now, you got people throwing him in MVP talks. There's a lot that can change. We are only in week 3. I think to your point about Quentin Johnson, the last article that I just published, the first headline as far as takeaways from the first 3 weeks was the Quentin Johnson breakout is finally here. And part of that is that, that never-ending belief that Justin Herbert has had in him. I mean, we've come a long way from, in Austin, you probably watched this game, we've come a long way from that drop at Lambeau Field in Green Bay that lost him the game. We've come a long way from that. I think it does come down to Justin Herbert, getting his confidence up as much as he has. And it really does come down to Jim Harbaugh as well. You talk about belief in the guys in your locker room. I don't think anyone has instilled that quite like Harbaugh has. I think a really good example of that is the preseason when you saw what Trey Lance was able to do. You want to talk about looking like a new guy? Like that little belief can turn some careers around when it comes to people that are supremely talented. And me and my brother were talking about this earlier this year when we watched the Kansas City game. Quentin Johnston's the best athlete on the field 9 times out of 10. He is.
Oh yeah, that's what he was drafted to be. Yeah,
he's drafted because he was a freak athlete. And the one thing that I really have credit for, and I can't believe I'm giving credit to Greg Roman because he drives me up a wall sometimes, but he has really done a good job of utilizing Quentin's strengths. And you look at the run after catch ability, he's able to stretch the field with less complex routes. He really has done a good job of capitalizing on what Quentin Johnston's really good at. And we're not asking him to do, you're not expecting him to go one-on-one and break someone off with a comeback route. You're not expecting him to be that high point contested catch guy. You're asking him to do what he's really good at. And right now that's rack and stretching the field and all these things. And you got Ladd for the separation. You got Keenan for the big time third down conversions. And this receiver room is kind of all gelling together because they're all just being utilized to their strengths for sure.
Ben, what do you got to say on the matter?
Yeah, I mean, that's a huge thing for QJ's breakout this year is they're not having to force him to do things he can't, He still has, like, some kind of rough catching mechanics at times, right? But, like, when you've got Ladd as, like, people are talking about how disappointing he's been, but that's just because defenses are focusing so much on him, right? Like, he's such an amazing route runner. He's so good with the ball after the catch that you have to worry about that. And now that Keenan's back, he's comfortable in the offense. You got a guy who you do just expect to make the play every time. That opens up QJ to just be a freak athlete. And, he's still going to have some drops this year. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. That's going to happen because that's always happened to him. But I think the good is just going to outweigh the bad because he's finally got this unit around him. And something that Herbert's good at is he goes to who's open. He does. Obviously, everybody has their favorites, but I don't think he just force feeds a guy just because that guy's better. Like, how many targets did Oronde Gadsden just have? And like, he was a game time scratch 2 weeks ago, and now he's giving him the ball because he's open. Like, that's just what Herbert does. He looks
Good
for
idea.
those guys. So I like that we're adding context to stuff like this here. Are you guys Packers and Cowboys fans? Am I right on that?
Well,
I'm a Ravens fan. Yeah.
Ravens. I don't know where I got Cowboys from.
Ex-Cowboy. No,
Okay.
used to be. I had
he's
it on the
ex-Cowboy.
Okay,
He's
okay,
ex-Cowboys.
He's
41
a
years
reformed Cowboys
after
fan.
divorce.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm divorced. 2 years divorced.
I think you guys could appreciate that, though, looking at the fact, like, Aaron Rodgers in his prime is always getting dogged for only having one ring. And when you add context to it, it's like, he wasn't playing bad. He just didn't have the supporting cast around him. The year he did, that was the one year he had an awesome defense, right? Like, that's the one year he had a
2010.
complete team. Yeah.
Yep.
Looking at the Ravens.
those. Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry. And just looking at the Ravens, you look at Lamar. I mean, there's a reason he's an MVP. He's had to carry a lot of things, and I think a lot of times people hold that against him. Now this year, I think he might have the scariest supporting cast he's got. That stuff matters so much. Like, QBs attribute to wins more than anyone, but wins to me still aren't a QB stat because you got 22 starters out there, right? So like we need to add that context. That's why I appreciate that we're doing this here, and that's kind of where my rant came from. Is like, I think Herbert gets labeled as not a winner, but it's like, now that we're seeing him win, people are like, oh, cool, he made that step up. And to me, I'm like, he's just always been there. He's just got it around him better, you know? So
Yeah.
that full team matters. That's why I picked the Ravens to win the Super Bowl this year. I think this is the scariest team they've had. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong there, but that was a preseason pick, by the way. So I know they didn't look so good the last 2 weeks, but that was a preseason
you
pick.
look like you might could play some defense. We might need you out there because that shit, we can't stop a nosebleed. So I'm a little scary. And our top 5 paid players are on, 5 of the 6 top highest paid is on defense, and we look trash the other day. So I mean, but once you have a scary offense, when you can score in a matter of 45 seconds, I'll take that. But now I think Lamar is trying to, and the same thing with Justin Herbert. They're feeling like they got to make every play. So sometimes they hold on to the ball too long. They force passes they shouldn't. So, hopefully, but it's about the Chargers because I'm pissed off about the Ravens. But we'll see. Listen, I think y'all are impressing me every day that Jim Harbaugh is one of the best coaches to ever coach. I mean, at every level he's won. He knows how to just get a team going. He's a culture builder. He's a player's coach. So I just think that's a big part of the Chargers doing well because they love paying for that guy. So Mr. Khakis, but listen, y'all looking scary. We're gonna see. I was
gonna say the biggest thing for me is Harbaugh's come in there and turn that ship around like it needed. They had bad leadership. I'm a big believer in problems start from the top, and I'm getting rid of Staley. It was obviously a huge turnaround, and I was gonna finish this off now with where do you guys see the Chargers? Also, the Aaron Rodgers thing, great analogy because those defenses in Rodgers' prime were always just dog shit, unwatchable defenses. Like, we just got to win every game by scoring 40 points. That just doesn't happen. No matter all the dogs. Exactly. Against teams with really good defenses. Crazy how we never won one, right? And then it's just like the smallest little mistake becomes a massive thing. Like one fumble could change the game because your defense can't do a damn thing. So, I appreciate that one because it brings back dark places for me. All right, so where do the Chargers finish this season? Where are we thinking? How far are they going? Ben, we'll let you start.
I mean, I definitely think they've got the legs to make some sort of a run, but like the trenches matter so much. It's just hard to see. The second Rashawn Slater went out, like there was kind of the overreaction, like, oh great, season's gone, right? Like everyone's kind of predicting him, like. Yeah, he is. And like, so I think a lot of people went from being like, I think they could push for winning the division to being like, hopefully they just make the playoffs at this point. The way they're moving, it's nice the last game they finally started getting their run game going a little more. It sucks that Najee went out, but like that's going to be needed once again in the playoffs. I talked about that with their loss to the Jags. Like, all respect to Eckler. He was a shifty guy. He was a great receiver. To me, I just never saw him as like a big pure runner. You got to have that in the playoffs, especially you get a lead. We milk and clock or not, we got to do that. So I think they're winning a playoff game for sure this year. I think they could make a deep run, but if I'm just being like an NFL guy and not like a homer right here, I think they win a game or two. I think the AFC Championship would probably be like their peak this year, but I think more than likely they win a game or two, and I'd be happy with that. Get some people off Herbert's back a little bit about not being able to win. So, but Devin
fair.
probably knows a lot more about what's going on. So
I could see that. That seems reasonable.
Yeah, I'm much more pessimistic than I should be watching a 3-0 Chargers team, considering the last time they were 3-0, I was a month old.
Damn.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's just tough because they have the quarterback, they have the coach, and I feel like they have the staff. But at the end of the day, I don't know if they have the talent. I wrote in my last article that like the bare minimum right now, based off how this season has gone, is you have to win this division. With everything has unfolded the way it is, the Chiefs have a tough draw with Baltimore this week, and just at the end of the day, you have a very winnable Week 4 game. Now, Ben alluded to this earlier. It is a prime trap game with how good the Giants are with their pass rush. I still don't know if the secondary will be able to hold up, and I think the Chargers will be able to exploit that. But as far as season-long goals go, you got to win a playoff game. You can win the division. You can do all this in the regular season. You have to win a playoff game for people to really buy into what this can be going forward. I'm a firm believer that with 10 at the helm, they can win any football game they are in. It's just what it is. But being extremely realistic and looking at it black and white, the best teams in the NFL have strong O-line and a strong pass rush. And the Chargers have neither of those.
Yeah.
Mekhi Becton can stay healthy throughout the season. That O-line is passable in the playoffs. If Khalil Mack is able to come back and be healthy, the pass rush still leaves a little bit to desired, but it's passable in the playoffs. But when you start having to travel to Arrowhead hopefully you won't have to travel to Arrowhead come postseason, but when you start having to go to Buffalo in January, that's a tough game to win no matter how good you are, but you have to be much more talented than them across the board, and I just don't think they are at that point yet. I'd like to see the secondary be a little better going forward. I think they got bailed out in week 3 by Bo Nix missing a couple throws. I'd like to see the pass rush start to get home at some point, whether it's a Caleb Murphy or a Kyle Kennard finally figuring it out. I know it's early in their careers, whether it's Khalil Mack and Tooley getting on the same page a couple weeks from now. I just don't think they have the horses and the firepower to really make any serious noise. It kind of feels like Miami the last couple of years, where like you see flashes, but you don't buy them as a real contender.
I can see them if they go to the trade deadline in a really good spot. Hey, I could see Trey Hendrickson. I could see that type of move happen if they're if they're at a good spot, right? I mean, even if it's just a rental, I think what you said is point. They need to make a jump this season. They need to do something. At bare minimum, they better win the division. If they don't win the division, they better win a game in the playoffs. But if they're in a good spot come trade deadline, I can see the Chargers being one of those teams making a splash move to get them over the top. Whether it's that O-line, which who knows on a trade for a star O-lineman, but like a Trey Hendrickson perhaps, there's going to be pass rushers and secondary guys that you can go out and get and really do something crazy for your defense. And I can see the Chargers being that team, but I think one game is reasonable. I think this team, they seem like a team with a good defense can help you win playoff games. And they got enough going on offense where with that defense being what it is right now, if it maintains that way, that's a team that can win a playoff game. The O-line, but like you said, that's going to hold up because, hey, we saw what happened to my Packers. It doesn't matter how good your O-line is. If you face a really good D-line and they just beat you in the trenches that day, things can go really, really south. So you better be going into those type of games in a good spot, or like Iman said on Monday, cancel Christmas. But, yeah. All right, Ben, Devin, thank you so much for coming on and talking some Chargers ball with us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely, Ben. Great rant. Good discussion on Herbert and the Chargers, and best to you boys against the Giants this week.
Thank you, sir.
All right, see y'all.
See you guys.
All right, Iman. Let's stick to football though, right?
Yes, sir.
Let's stick to with the weekend preview of some of the games coming up. I don't know. Is there a specific game that you're kind of looking at I think it's the Ravens. I'm feeling Ravens. Okay.
I'm locked right in on the Ravens versus Chiefs. Both of these squads are 1-2. Listen, and I know this is going to be a bold statement, but I think the loser of this game doesn't make the playoffs this year because it's a must win for both sides. Let's be clear. It's a must win for both sides. Like you said, we haven't been this bad since 2015 with both of them, the Chiefs and the Ravens. And I just feel like Patrick Mahomes is kind of losing his allure on the football field. I remember he used to come out there and everybody just thought, oh, we got to play Patrick. We're losing.
Yeah.
And now he's not carrying a team like he used to. And I get it. He's getting older and he's realizing, hey, I need some help. So he still won't have Rice back. I don't think Xavier Worthy is coming back this week. But still, they're at a win-win. They got to win and we got to win. I'm just telling you. The loser misses the playoffs this year.
That's a crazy. I wasn't ready to go that far. I mean, when you consider, okay, hey, I mean, you're right. They're both of them are one. We just talked about a Harbaugh, but the other Harbaugh, like I know there's like everyone's kind of talking about where the blame needs to go around. Is it the players? Is it the coach? You know, there's a bunch of blame to go around right now. Is it Chris Orr? But I think Harbaugh is like, if this continues and keeps up this way, there's going to be discussions. There's going to be discussions, and they're already kind of are like fans pissed off enough. I mean, we saw. I'm not sure if you saw that guy heckling Marlon Humphrey coming out of the stadium, kind of a jabroni, but like fans are clearly like kind of pissed off. Like, we're kind of wasting some really good stuff here. It feels like,
and I'm not mad at him because Marlon Humphrey, weak ass, jumped straight on the podcast after a loss. Like, I just don't. I don't respect these players after losses having the energy to be able to come and talk like as a player. And I mean, you know, as a baseball player in sports, when I lost, I don't want to talk to anybody about anything. And listen, I'm fucking upset. And to me, he didn't even seem that upset. So I'm glad the fan kind of heckled him. But I mean, you got to think. So our Ravens, if we lose this week, we got the Texans after that. Then we got the Bears, then the Dolphins, then the Vikings, then a tough Browns defense. So you got to think our next 6 games aren't just gimmies. They're not just gimmies. So, and I need to pull up the Chiefs, but I mean, I'm going with us for the win because I just think we have more firepower than the Chiefs at this point. But we got to be able to stop somebody, man. Like he can't put on his cape. Lamar can't put on his cape every week. It's just, come on. Derrick Henry, enough's a fucking enough with these fourth quarter fumbles, man.
Yeah, those are tough, man. Those have been
just enough's enough. Yeah.
Those have been untimely fumbles and, you know, consummate professional. I think he'll get right. I mean, man, you think the Chiefs will probably figure it out whether they lose this or not, because you got to consider they got Worthy coming back. Obviously, Rice is coming back. You know, they're going to be able to do some things, and they're still finding their offense is not what it has been in terms of like the velocity that they're able to just put up. The defense, anything ran by Spagnuolo, still is going to be a good unit. It doesn't feel as dominant, but another good unit. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be an interesting game. Both of those teams at 1-2 right now is not where anyone probably would have expected either of them to be, but definitely not the Ravens when you're considering Lamar MVP and what they're coming off of. I mean, wow. Yeah, I mean, to my game, the one I'm kind of watching, though, is the Eagles versus Buccaneers. A couple of undefeated teams. It's going to be an awesome game. As a secondary Eagles fan, you know, I'll be rooting for them. But realistically, I feel like I'm going Buccaneers for this win right now. Just for, you know, for context with this series, the Eagles are 21-4 in their last 25 games, with 2 of those losses coming to the Buccaneers. And that's dating back to their 2023 wild card loss. So the Buccaneers have seemed to do all right against the Eagles, and Philly is otherwise 21-2 against the rest of the NFL. So Philly is 21-2 against the rest of the NFL, 0-2 against the Bucs. Baker Mayfield has over 300. He has about 340 yards in each game. The first one was 347 with 2 tuds. The next was 337 with 3 tuds. So he gets a good one. He seems to do well against the Eagles. Nolan Smith is out for the Eagles. That's a big hit. And that Buccaneers offense is striding. They're looking good. And I know they eventually find what our content creator Butter likes to call them, the Smith and Brown the lawyers. Yeah, that Smith and Brown at law. They end up finding them, but like the Eagles' pass game has been pretty disgusting. Like
mid
at
mid.
best mid. Like AJ Brown has been going these first 3 games. Like AJ Brown doesn't exist in the first half. Devontae Smith has barely existed in the first half, and then they, a good teams they find a way to figure out and still win. But like their passing game is disgusting. Jalen Hurts is not throwing anything down the field until like he like needs to, until it's like a point of like, oh shit, we actually have to. But like, hey, all power to him. If you can win ball games without having to get 2 star receivers involved, which seems crazy that they don't, it's a damn good football team. I think the Bucs get the best of them this week, though.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say this right now. I know they talked about Justin Herbert, but Baker Mayfield is going to start being in some consideration for MVP. Listen, last year he fucking lit the NFL up. So you got to think Mike Evans got hurt last game. He's going to probably be out with his hamstring because the hamstring is just a weird fucking injury.
Yeah, that's a problem. A lot of Emeka Ibuka though. Wow.
But that's what I'm saying. Baker is still finding a way to get it done, and I think he's going to be a front runner for MVP if he can get it done this week. And just keep this ball rolling. And, so that was somebody that everybody wrote off. They were saying number 1 pick. And, I mean, we all know Cleveland is a fucking graveyard for quarterbacks. And I'm glad he got away. But people wrote him off. And he is looking like the number 1 pick should look. So, I'm with you. I'm going Tampa in a tight one because I don't believe in that Eagles offense. And they're just not as explosive we want them to be. No. And I just think Baker is playing lights out right now. So I'm with you. I'm going.
That Rams revival for Baker Mayfield, I'll tell you what, did his career wonders. He's been incredible since he's been the Bucs quarterback. And that offense I really like what they got going on at running back with Bucky Irving. I was a big proponent of him. He's one of those guys that pisses me off with the combine. He had a really bad combine. What he did in shorts just seemed to just obliterate anything he did on the field, and he dropped. He was one of the most incredible running backs in college. I think he led the nation in tackles broken per game or per attempt. Like he was a freaking machine who just on the field had gaudy numbers, seemed incredible, and then what he did in shorts seemed to matter most and knocked his draft stock way further than he should have dropped. He's an incredible running back, and he's looking real good this season. So I think the Bucs got enough to pull this one off for these. That's kind of the games we're looking at. So let's see. For college football, we got some games. I'll read you off the first one. I want to get your thoughts on who you're taking. I know you're a betting man. I know you're going to got a couple of dollar bills on some of these college games. So we'll start with number 21, USC versus number 23, Illinois. Personally, I'm going USC all day. I'm sure you probably too, especially after Illinois got their ass. Sorry, Joey. Illinois got their ass kicked by Indiana. But USC has been pounding on the ground. This is looking like a Lincoln Riley, Oklahoma offense with what they're able to do. They've been super efficient passing the ball. In the nation, they rank number 1 in yards per play. They rank 3rd in yards per carry. Like I said, they've been very efficient. That said, the one concern is like their schedule's been a little bit lackluster. Think what you will about Michigan State, but they've also been a top pass rush team in the country, and they got some units, some fellas up front. So this team feels like it's ascending and going in the right direction. Who are you taking for this one?
I'm with you on this one. I'm taking USC, and they're actually going to be my dark horse team into the playoffs this year.
Ooh, okay.
Like you said, the offense is starting to look like a Lincoln Riley offense where they can run the football. Also, they have a second-year quarterback who's playing in the system. He's not trying to make too many plays. He's throwing passes on time. He's reading what the defense gives him, and he's making plays with his feet when he has to. He's not forcing it. So I think they're going to be a tough out for everybody. And, I think Illinois kind of just came back to earth last week. And like I say, Joy, I'm sorry too, but I think Illinois kind of got their actual – talent reality check last weekend against Indiana because I just think there are a few recruiting classes out of being a bigger team in the Big Ten because, I mean, the way Indiana put it on them. And to me, I think USC has way more talent. And the one thing that I think USC did this year that they didn't do last year and the year before is pay some people for that defensive line. Like when they got Jakeem Stewart, he was like the number 1 DN coming out of the 25 class, and they ripped him from LSU. I want to say he was going to LSU or somewhere, and they I don't think they doubled, but they said, hey, listen, we'll pay you more. I think that was big because I was hearing that they averaged 270 last year on the D-line, and they're averaging 300 this year.
They
So
got
I just
fellas.
think, I think they got a good D-line this year. The defense is playing way better. Last year, they was Swiss cheese. So, yep, I'm with you. USC for the win.
Well, I think that one, yeah, it seems like that should happen. Dark horse candidate for the playoffs. I like it. All right, number 6, Oregon versus number 3, Penn State, a Big Ten title rematch game. Thing with Penn State for me on this is they've seemed to not really rise up in the big games. James Franklin is 4-20 against ranked teams, so he's got some problems. They've lost 14 straight regular season games to ranked teams, so they kind of got a Nebraska-like disease going on. And for me, like, I still think he's going to be all right, but like Drew Allard, I mean, a lot of expectations coming into this season, not quite being lived up to at this point. The passing game has been extremely like meh, and like it's not like they're playing any like great teams. They're not beating up on bad teams like you would expect a really, really good football team to do it. That's not to say they don't deserve being number 3 team right now, but Oregon's got weapons. This is going to be a tough game for Penn State, and it'll be a tough game for Oregon because they've struggled against the run, where Penn State dominates against the run. 2 really good running backs, but on Oregon's side, they have the weapons, they've rebuilt the O-line, and they're at home. So I don't know. I kind of want to go Oregon on this one.
So I'm gonna give a little caveat. So
Okay.
Penn State, you're right. James Franklin can't win the big games. I don't think he ever will. Now, Katron Allen, he's from Norfolk, Virginia. So I'm from Norfolk, Virginia.
Okay.
I was a middle school coach when he was in the 8th grade. He played for Norview Middle. I was coaching at Blair Middle. We was undefeated. Guess who we had to run to in the playoff? Katron Allen. We thought we had the perfect defense lined up. They put this guy at quarterback. When I tell you, Austin, he scored every time he touched the ball. I'm not lying. I'm telling you, I hope I can find the film, show y'all I was the head coach at Blair Middle, and I just knew we was going to beat him. Penn State has to give him the ball. Last year, he was the best running back on the team. They split carries with him. This year, he's clearly the best running back on your team. Give him 30 carries, slow the game down, and you can get the win. And my thing, they're trying to put it in Drew Allard's hand, and that's not going to happen. If you put the ball – listen to me, Austin. If they give Katron Allen 22 or more carries, Penn State will win. If they don't, Oregon's going to win in a runaway. That's a talented team, too. I don't know if people looking at Oregon. Now, I don't just trust the brand of Oregon. Oregon's always good. And just when it comes down to win championship games and playoffs, it's like, nah, that wasn't what y'all was doing. And I'm talking about to the Chip Kelly days, even when Mario Cristobal was there. So I'm just not a big believer of Oregon yet.
Okay.
But I'm Penn State if y'all can give Katron Allen the football.
Yeah, I think that's where they're going to have to kill Oregon. They're averaging 151 yards a game and 6 yards per carry. They've been like Singleton and Katron they're damn good running backs. Like lean into that. You're going to have to try to limit Oregon's offense being on the field. But let's go to the next one. I'm going to be at this one. UW, the Huskies, the Washington Huskies, got number 1 Ohio State coming into town. The first thing I'm going to say on this game is it's absolutely criminal that the Huskies are not ranked right now. It is despicable that they haven't got one single vote to be ranked. Is kind of batshit absurd in my opinion. Anyways, and this is kind of goes to that. Their offense has been lights out. They're averaging over 50 points a game right now. Their punter is one of the least used players in football, to put it lightly. They're converting third downs at a 75% clip, scoring almost 80% of their drives this season, which leads the nation, both of those. Their defense is a vulnerability. That part we can be blatantly honest about. And, Ohio State's defense is quite the opposite. They're only allowing 5.3 points a game right now this season. Granted, that's a tough defense. My thing here is this is Julian Sain's very first game on the road as a starter. that Husky Stadium gets loud. It is like they got the roof, kind of like the half roof thing. The noise gets trapped in there, and that stadium, the tickets are sold out. It's going to be loud. Oh, I'm telling you right now. And I believe they have 22 straight home wins, the Huskies. They're winning football games at home. It is an underrated home environment. So will Julian Sain be able to overcome that right now? That will be something to watch. It's not going to be just easy for him to walk in. That's a tough first road game in your starting career. What do you think?
Hey, you gonna be at the game, Austin?
I'm gonna be at the game.
Guess what? By halftime, you're gonna be drinking beers and not even paying attention because they're gonna be blowing y'all the fuck out. I'm telling you. By halftime, you're gonna have 2 glizzies in your hand. You're gonna be dancing, drinking beer. I don't know if they serve tequila or anything there. You're gonna have your margarita, having a good time. You and the old lady, maybe the friends, because it's gonna be over. It's not gonna be close.
Oh man,
Ohio State are gonna blow y'all the hell out. The loudness not going to matter because I'm telling you, nobody's going to be paying attention by halftime. So, Austin, It's not going to be close. It's not going to be close. And granted, I think y'all should be ranked, but y'all about to see what $30 million gets you for a roster. That's just talent. Y'all not going to – and y'all got the money in Seattle now. That money is out in Washington. You got to spend it, though. Got to spend it.
That's a good point. Yeah. And I have never been a Jedd Fisch believer. The second they hired him, I'm like, nope, that wasn't it. That wasn't the one. And then he proves it a lot of the times when you watch, like, what the fuck are you doing out here, guy? I've seen it enough. I've questioned enough, watched most of these games, and I've never bought into him as a coach. So I think he'll be a reason why if UW loses, there's going to be a Jedd Fisch problem at some point. But yeah, I mean that the Ohio State, like you said, they're the only FBS team holding all their opponents under 10 points this year. They've given up less. Like, that's pretty absurd.
That defense is a killer. That defense is a killer.
They've literally allowed 16 points on the season. Like, this is crazy.
That's what $30 million gets you, though.
Yeah. So that Husky offense is really good. This should be a really fun matchup. Obviously, I know I talked about him as well, maybe a Heisman candidate a few weeks ago, but Jonah Coleman remains just the best, like, 1-2 running back in the nation. He is dominating when he totes the rock. Yeah. Their quarterback, Damon Williams, looks so good. I'm a big fan of him. You know, seeing him play last year a little bit, like, I was like, damn, this guy might be him for the Huskies. He's looking good again. Denzel Boston at receiver, the next kind of Roma Dunze. He just makes some really good catches every game. So I think this is going to be a fun matchup. And mind you, Ohio State's really only played Texas this season. Like, just saying. And that offense is kind of dog shit. We're still seeing it. So this is going to be Ohio State's first, like, offense. Like, this is a top 5 offense in the nation kind of right now. They're about to find out.
Let me give you a key word, 2. Jeremiah Smith.
Yeah, he's a problem. He's a problem.
Jeremiah Smith. I'm just telling you, halftime, glizzy. What's your favorite beer? Michelob, Bud Light?
Oh, don't do that. No,
I'm just saying, whatever it is, good IPA, whatever, you're going to be drinking at halftime, having a good time. I'm trying to tell you, brother. You're not going to be worried about football at the halftime.
You're just loaded with fighting words tonight. All right. We'll come back. Hey, just like Utah, Texas Tech, we shall come back to this next week. And you know what? If I'm being realistic, Ohio State's probably going to win. Let's just be real. But I think UW makes it a game. Absolutely think UW is making it a game. Do you want to hear it? We had someone call into the rant mail line, the voicemail line, and it's actually about college football and the lack of, it's funny enough, the Wisconsin Badgers are, again, Fire Fickle. His seat is one of the hottest in the nations for all coaches. Something that people are kind of calling out is, like, Wisconsin football does not really invest in their football team. They are not spending money on their football team. They are no longer a competitive team. Their offensive line is one of the lowest ranked offensive lines in, like, the Big Ten, which is absurd to say. My whole life, I'm 30 years old. My whole life, Wisconsin Badgers offensive line is one of the best in the nation. Hogs up there. They're not RBU anymore. Remember how they were just producing running back after running back, and it's nothing anymore. Their pass game remains just illiterate. Quarterback play remains illiterate. Coaching just remains illiterate, and they're not spending money. It's funny that Barry Alvarez had the audacity. Big Barry Alvarez guy. He's done a lot of great for the program, but he had the audacity to say the fans are spoiled. Spoiled the fucking what, Barry? What has this team won? You've made it to a few Rose Bowls. You haven't won jack shit, even with Russell Wilson. This team hasn't won in forever. to say we're spoiled. It's some
So
crazy
being
shit.
from the area, though, do y'all have good quarterback play in Wisconsin? Because
Nah,
I just haven't
nah.
understand how y'all can't recruit a quarterback.
They just never bring in. They never recruit a good quarterback. I mean, there's a guy. What's his name? Marbury or whatever. One of these, goalie lock guys. I'm blanking on his name. I mean, we did recruit Graham Mertz, who was he was like our highest recruited quarterback ever, and that was a huge dud. And I think Paul Chris as a head coach was a big reason for that because he was supposed to be great. He didn't really do shit in Florida either, so maybe it was a player a little bit. But Paul Chris offense criminally bad. This whole Luke Fickell thing criminally bad. Let's hear that I'll play the fan what they had to say because it's kind of it's kind of funny. We'll hear what they had to say on it though.
Okay.
Where to start? Here's your headline. Your Wisconsin Badgers are 17th in the standings in the Big Ten. Now, obviously, the paradox there, but that is a perfect summary, okay, of how this Badger football is going. McIntosh, I don't know what you're doing. Fucking Gary Greg Anderson, whatever the hell his name is, that he fucking won here, okay? Say what you will, he at least made it, fucking won a Big Ten championship. Oh my God. What is going on here? Last year,
That cut off?
Mm-hmm.
Everything's not so bad. We were with LSU 2 years ago. Where is LSU? Where's LSU now? That was 2 years ago. We lost by a fucking touchdown. I don't get it, Craig. I don't get it. How are we not sounding the alarm here? The only reason the alarm isn't sounded is because the Wisconsin legislature refuses to allow other schools to fund a program, okay? The only reason it's not becoming a bigger issue is because basketball is safe right now. But basketball has slowly been chipping away from the Badgers, not only from Marquette, but you're gonna be seeing very shortly here UW Green Bay, UWM, all these other places that are D1 or whatever that can pay people. That's the name of the fucking game. And you want to know what? You paid the wrong guy. Luke Fickell came in, and oh my goodness, his agent needs to fucking raise himself. How can you go from lineman up front, running back you, Monte Ball, Ron Dane? How do you go from that tradition to, we're going to fucking air it out, and you still can't even get it right? Nobody. What are we doing? I'll hang up and listen.
He's got a point. There's been worse coaches at Fickell that came here and won. And look, this is the era of football we live in. Pay motherfuckers. Figure it out. Adapt or die. That is how the world goes around. Adapt or die. And Wisconsin Badgers football is not adapting. They're not doing shit. They are not bringing in anyone in terms of we brought in transfers. They look really promising. The recruiting class. There's a problem. There's something is systemically wrong with the Wisconsin Badgers football program right now, and Luke Fickell is supposed to make football fun in Wisconsin. God damn it, and he's not.
That was funny. It sounded like he was pulling his hair when he was like, I like that one.
Yep. All right. Well, let's get into it. Let's get into Iman's your three. What are they? What are they called?
There is segment. All right. We are starting with, I forgot what I did, which one we started with.
Cal Raleigh.
Let's just start with Cal Raleigh, 60th home run ball. I don't know this guy's name, but we're just going to call him a great citizen. This guy caught the historic 60th home run and gave it to a kid. Dog, you are the greatest in the world because we know that ball is probably going to be worth around
a lot of money,
a couple hundreds. And let's say if that child just holds it for 20 years, it's going to be worth even more. So whatever this guy name is, Citizen of the Year for Seattle, Cal Raleigh, 60th home run, which he'll probably pay to get that ball back. But for you, guy, you get a there it is. A second one. All right, and I know y'all wondering, how is this the there it is? Hey, Russell Wilson, you can go home now. Sierra is fine. You can go spend some time with your fabulous, good-looking wife. Go raise your kids, be this great father. Raise future son, too. He loves you. Go home now. All right. You got the chance. Nobody else is going to pick you up. So, second on this week, there it is because now, Russell, don't be a Tom Brady. Go home to your wife. Go home to your kids. Enjoy your money in your Hawaiian shirt. There it is. And last but not least, she is, and I'm saying it now, the greatest WNBA player ever. For the fourth time, nobody has won 4 MVPs. And what a season is she putting up again this year. 23 points, 10 rebounds, 1 steal. You're the 5. How are you averaging damn near 2 steals a game at the 5? 2 blocks, 50% from the field. She's shooting 40% from the three-point line. Remember, she is a 5. So let's give a big DIS to the greatest WNBA player in history, Asia Wilson. This week, you get that. There it is.
Woo!
Love it.
Man. Man, Cal Raleigh, you know what? I don't know if you saw the video, but Cal Raleigh, as he hits that one, everyone's chanting MVP as the pitcher's pitching. He hits it as everyone's chanting on their feet, MVP. He hits it. Another multi-home run game. I believe that was to tie the record for most multi-home run games in a season in history. Just keeps knocking them down. I know some people on TikTok were pissed that, we're kind of on Cal's side despite Judge. Also, I Judge at 50 now as well. I mean, God darn, he's having a great season. He's having a great season. Great season. All right, we talked about Wilson and some WNBA. Why don't we move to the news desk with Joey? Joey, what's going on?
Hello, gentlemen. How we doing?
We're doing good. Joey, you got your Bears win. Congratulations. I know the Cubs, they are not going to win the division, but,
they're playoff bound.
They're still a playoff baseball team, so you must be feeling all right about Chicago sports right now.
First time in a decade, maybe, of sad apathy. So this is going to be fun. A fun couple of weeks.
Incredibly depressing. You're going to be let down.
I know, right?
It's incredible.
Of course I am.
I feel bad for you.
But I get a good week of yay, positivity.
Yeah, a different reality for sure.
Yes, the multiverse.
Yes.
All right, starting off for you guys. ESPN, the mothership, releases the top 10 NBA players in the league. What do we think of the top 10? And out of that top 10, what do we think of the top 5? So, the top 5 are as follows. Jokic, SGA, Luka, Giannis, and Victor Wembanyama.
I got words. And
you're allowed to have words. Go.
Thank you. I can't stand how Giannis continuously is disrespected for being one of the greatest players of all time. I know he's a little bit out of his prime now, but for Jokic being number 1 for me, we can kind of go one by one, Iman, if you want. Jokic comes in at number 1 as the ESPN. They decided to try to rank the top 10 players in basketball. They ranked all of them, so they went Jokic, Shai, Luka, Giannis, Wemby. Jokic, for me, as good as he is, I struggle to put someone who is not a weapon on both sides of the ball as a top player in basketball. He is a liability on defense. And if your offensive numbers just aren't blowing out everyone consistently, he has great numbers, but it's not like he's blowing out people. So for me to put him at number 1 as a not complete player, as good as he, as amazing as he is on offense, I struggle to put him at 1. Is that would you put him at 1, or what do you got?
No, I wouldn't. I'm with you. I think Giannis is the greatest both sides. I mean, literally, all he's going to do is just go straight to the hole. You can't stop that. And on defense, he is a savage. I'm with you. I just don't think the best player in the NBA can be a guy who don't play defense. I mean, yeah. And it's weird because he's athletic and he's smart. So I would figure he would know even where to be on defense, but I'm with you. I think Giannis still is the most dominant player in the NBA on offense and defensive side. And yes, he can't pass like Jokic. He can't shoot like Jokic. But at the end of the day, he took Milwaukee to a championship. And that performance he did in the championship was unlike anything I've ever seen in the NBA championship. So I'm with you on that. And I don't think he's too old. I really think he's still got a few years left in him. But, yeah, I wouldn't go with Jokic myself either. I think SGA is better, too.
Yeah.
He does more for his team than because he plays both sides of the ball.
Mm-hmm. And that's so for me, I was going to, if you want to just, if anyone cares to hear my rankings for the NBA's top 5 players, I was going Shai, then Giannis, then Jokic, then Ant, then Wemby. Because Shai with me is like, look, he is very good, and he's actually of all of them, like he's 26 or 27. He is in his prime. He's probably only getting better. I think he had as many like defensive player of the year votes or all NBA player votes, defensive votes as Giannis this season. So he's good both sides. Is he a foul merchant? Absolutely. And that's another thing I respect the shit out of Giannis. He is one of the last bully ball players in the NBA. He will go through you. He is not flopping. He is not going down. He wants to play bully-style basketball and in an era that doesn't exist anymore. He's keeping it alive. When we got Joel Embiid flopping at air, just a brisk dust, Joel Embiid's on the ground. So to have Giannis, still playing like that at the highest level, I put him 1-2 as Shai. Luka, for me, it's the same thing as Jokic. His offensive numbers aren't blowing anyone out. They're worse than, as good as he is. Again, his numbers are worse than Jokic, and he doesn't play any defense at all. His defense is as void as James Harden's defense. It's just not there. And I was kind of surprised that Ant got left off after Wemby played 46 games last season. As good as he looks, Ant played a full 79 games and was still really, really good. So for me, I think Wemby got a 5 ranking personally because of the potential of what a full season would have looked like. But hey, best ability is availability. If you play 46 games, that is not enough for me to say you should be ranked over someone who played a full season, had equally dominant numbers. Hey, look at Ant's numbers. Look at his numbers.
You gotta. I'm not big on Ant. I'm telling you, I'm not big on Ant. I think he shoots a lot, so I just think his numbers are inflated, and I think he got that. He's the next Jordan Praise, and he can't win in Minnesota, and he has the teammates to do it. I just don't think he's a good leader. I'm off the Ant train, okay. And a lot of it is off. And also, while we bring up Giannis, I want to bring why Giannis is the best. He's the only guy who can get his below average brother a contract year after year after year. Jokic's brothers are not in the NBA, and they're big and tall and tough. You can't get them a contract, so you're not the best player. Giannis continuously gets his brother.
Yeah. The nasty.
Yeah.
The nasty. I mean, yeah, that's tough. But yeah, I feel like they got, I don't think, Giannis has got to be higher. The continued disrespect is just bullshit. I don't care what you say. When you're a superstar, dominant both sides of the floor, as good as it gets in the world, to not have you even top 3, fuck you, ESPN. Yeah, this is why people just don't believe anything you say anymore. Yeah. All right. Sorry. I got hot. You can see the Giannis picture behind me. You can imagine I'm going to get hot. Always do. Every fucking year with those idiots. Not giving him any credit for MVP vote when his numbers are just the best that they've ever been. Each season, he just doesn't exist because they're tired of him winning and collecting as much hardware as he has. Stupid amounts of hardware. All right, I'm done, I promise.
And I agree with you, even as a Bulls fan, Giannis is appointment TV, right? When he's in town, it's like, when are we going to see him play? There's nobody like him. As much as the other guys are anomalies and freaks and can score like crazy and break records, Giannis is that guy of you go, whoa, I've never seen anyone play basketball or look like this on a court before from an athletic perspective. So yeah. I'm Team Giannis too. Don't worry.
Appreciate you, Joey. All right, what do we got?
Number 2, Seahawks. They're playing in Thursday Night Football this week, but they're making headlines off the field. Legendary running back Sean Alexander welcomed his 14th child into the world this week, taking the lead over Tyreek Hill with 12, who, by the way, I think had 5 this year.
God damn.
And Phillip Rivers has 10. So is this like a competition between these guys? How are they handling all these kids? Shit. What's going? What are they drinking in the NFL water over there? They're having double-digit families over here.
Doesn't Cromartie got like 14 kids too?
Yeah, yes, he was next on that list. Yes,
Joey, I'm gonna tell you right now. If my girl over 3, I'm gonna have to tell her we're gonna have to leave the rest of them after this. We gotta leave them at the hospital, get past them on. And I know that guy's made millions of dollars, but 14, he got his own football team with 3 backups.
Yeah, line them up.
Goodness fucking, that's a lot of kids, man. the fact that he still has his testosterone level high enough to be able to keep
I'm sure a lot of men who would want those levels of testosterone want to know what he's on. Sure.
And salute to Miss Alexander to just keep having them. Like, salute to you, ma'am. You are the greatest in the world. They keep having them. So, man, Jessica, please don't. We would give them away if you're that fertile.
Hey, all baby team is kind of stacking up to be nice. So you got Phillip Rivers at quarterback. You got Sean Alexander at running back. You got Antonio Cromartie at DB. He was an awesome career.
Tyreek Hill in the flex.
You got Tyreek Hill as your receiver. This team's doing numbers. That's a great base. It's like the what do they call them? The all white guy team. They were kind of piecing this together now with Cooper DeJean in the league. You know, there's some things we can work with here. We got some stuff.
And the DNA is great, so you're gonna get good DNA from that. Oh my goodness, listen. I want to throw up to even think about that with these kids. I'm not gonna
Hey, God bless them for keep on trucking, keep on pumping. Good for you, Sean Alexander. All the power to you. If that's what you want, then. Ooh, y'all remember the movie Cheaper by the Dozen with what's his name, Steve Martin in it?
Yeah.
Like seeing that type of chaos and imagining that in real life without the, beauties of the movie that made it seem so great at some points because some people don't get that. Imagining that chaos in real life, no matter how much money you have, just makes me a bit nauseous, I'm going to be honest.
I'm telling you, my sister has 6, Austin. My oldest got 6, and they're all like stair steps. So, most of them grown now. But oh my goodness grief, that's what I'm trying to tell you. And I teach and coach high school kids, so I just understand how hectic that is. But good, more power to them.
All right. Well, thank you, Joey, for coming in with the news desk. And don't remember, y'all are seeing it on your screen. If you're not seeing it on your screen, the code for some Juega House gear I showed you a little bit at the beginning of the episode, but Sidelinr Sports, SIDELINR Sports. Get your Juega House hat for 15% off on us. Great hats, love them. Wear them all the damn time. Your favorite athletes, go look at their Instagram page or something. Your favorite athletes are wearing them. Really support them in terms of I think y'all will like them. Those are the type of brands we want to be bringing to y'all as the folks that we think, fans are going to like. We see that, fans like y'all liking it. So, go check it out at the very least. Juega House, great stuff there. But that was another episode of Chalk Talk Social. We will see you on Monday. Enjoy this weekend of football. See you later.
He's out.